So, ladies and gentlemen, now we're hearing, and we were due to be hearing this, it's kind of textbook. Well, actually, Kang wasn't always going to be the Multiverse Saga's big bad. Jonathan Majors, he might not be in the future, actually. Oh, really? Riddle me this. I mean, how on earth are we supposed to believe that he was never going to be the Multiverse Saga's big bad? Really? Literally everything's been built around him for a fair while now. But this is because, of course, Jonathan Majors' legal troubles. And the fact that Marvel is in deep crap with that from a PR standpoint. Now, if you don't know, I've done multiple videos on it, but essentially, Jonathan Majors is being accused of domestic violence. He's already done a preliminary hearing. He's due to appear in court again soon-ish. June, I believe it is. And it doesn't look great. You know, every piece of evidence that he releases, it doesn't really exonerate him. The DA is very happily still continuing to press charges. And the judge hasn't dropped it yet. So it's pretty full on. And it's kind of textbook that we would be getting these... I mean, they're excuses at the end of the day. It's kind of retroactive nonsense. Now, this doesn't come from just like anyone. You know, this does actually come from someone that's in Marvel. It's an author who did the MCU, The Reign of Marvel, or the Marvel Studios. So, someone who's kind of in there, right? You know, is privy to some information. But this is kind of what we were due to be getting anyway. It's pretty textbook. As things start to go a bit south, they retroactively come back and start going, well, actually, he wasn't always going to be the big bad. Of course he was. How was anyone going to believe that he wasn't going to be the big bad? Of course he was going to be the big bad. You did Loki, the entire Loki season, for that. Absolutely. And then you introduced him in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So, yeah, he was always going to be the big bad. It's nonsense that you think anyone's going to believe he wasn't. But the really interesting thing is that they're very clear-cut in now saying Jonathan Majors' future is unclear. Which I've been saying for a while. The moment he got dropped by his agents and his PR company, he was done in Hollywood. And especially Marvel. Because agents work on percentage of what you earn. An agent, a management company, isn't going to bin anyone off when they're due to be getting like 20, 30, 40, $50 million. Whatever it is. You know? They're going to keep them on because that percentage matters to them. Especially when it's such high numbers. So he's been done for a little while. I think they're now just starting to work the PR campaign to clear it up. To say, well, you know, he wasn't always going to... we're just letting him go. You know. Softly does it. So let's dive into this today. Hit subscribe. And let's take a look. So, again, even this article's like, in Loki Season 1 finale, we were introduced to Jonathan Majors' He Who Remains. It quickly became apparent that he was a Kang variant, with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania introducing us all too briefly to the Conqueror version of the villain, and then obviously, you know, the Council of Kangs as well. Now, it's obvious Kang is being lined up as the Multiverse Saga's big bad, though there are some questions about how that will work with Jonathan Majors' ongoing legal issues. A recast is possible, as is a return should the actor clear his name, but it appears Marvel Studios didn't always plan on using this villain as the focal point of the saga. I mean, that's nonsense. So speaking on The Ringers, the Big Picture podcast, author Joanna Robinson, who did MCU The Reign of Marvel, shared some of what she heard about how plans changed in the wake of Avengers Endgame. So she said the following: I was told by someone who works for Marvel it was not the plan to make Kang the centre of everything until they saw the dailies from Quantumania, and after his performance in Loki, which was so strong they were like, this is it. This is our way forward. We've lost our vast city hero team, but let's set up around this guy, Kang, and this performer that so many people are reacting to. No one was reacting to him. No one had seen it. But this is the interesting thing, right? So we're now being led to believe that actually they weren't going to be planning to make Kang the center of everything until they saw the dailies from Quantumania. What? Really? Really? So what was Loki going to be building towards? What was that building towards if not this? Absolutely ridiculous. So as well as penning that book, Robinson previously wrote for Vanity Fair. She'd go on to make a case for why Marvel Studios might have made a mistake by putting all its eggs in one basket after creating an entire slate of projects around one actor and character. It wouldn't usually be too much of a problem, of course, but it somewhat backfired in this instance due to Majors going from Hollywood's biggest up-and-coming star to one of its most controversial. So Robinson said, that has put them in the bad. We do not know what they're going to do, and I've heard conflicting stories about are they going to replace him. They're not even considering replacing him. What? So she's heard conflicting stories about they are going to replace him. They're not even considering replacing him. So what are they going to do then? Just what are they going to do? Kill him off? How are you going to do it? And it's not like Marvel isn't well aware Quantumania was a bust, because you saw the headline. We got it here. Ant-Man 3 writer Jeff Loveness reportedly off Avengers the Kang Dynasty. So he's done. Because Marvel realised what a monumental bomb that film is. And it is a bomb. That's lost millions of dollars for Marvel. Tens of, if not hundreds. So, though we don't have very much to go on, we're hearing that Marvel Studios may be searching for a new writer for Avengers the Kang Dynasty. According to the Hot Mike's Jeff Snyder, Jeff Loveness, who was enlisted to pen the next installment of the superhero team-up franchise shortly after delivering his script for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, is now off the project, and he parted ways with the movie before the WGA strike. So, yeah, this is just a tweet that apparently hasn't bothered to load. It says, hearing that screenwriter Jeff Loveness is off Avengers Kang Dynasty, and that he fell off prior to the strike. Now, apparently Loveness hasn't even completed a draft of the script, but he definitely had a rough idea of the story, and will the studio go with a complete overhaul when they bring in a new writer, etc, etc, etc. This is interesting. I mean, it was a bomb. It was a massive flop. Now, this stupid article is like, while Ant-Man 3 wasn't the major flop it tends to be portrayed as, yes it was, it lost significant money for Marvel. Basic mathematics. Get your emotions out your arsehole. Okay? It's basic mathematics. So, not good. So, interesting. Jeff Snyder's got a good track record at the moment, so I'm inclined to believe it. But what do you guys think? Jonathan Majors being slowly phased out? Jeff Loveness off Kang Dynasty? Let me know what you think down below. Cheers, guys. Take care.